You are all here to come and learn these clicks.
So we will start with C. And the way you make that sound, you put your teeth together, tongue out a little bit, and you pull. Ooh la, C, ooh la.
It is only the African people south of the Sahara that try to use other people's languages and cultures to develop themselves. And it is not working, it cannot work. Only the African people south of the Sahara. All other people use their languages because this language is indispensable for the development of the people.
You go to the bank to access services or to do transactions, or you have a query, you can only be assisted in English. You go to clinics, you can only be assisted in English. You go to a job interview, your job interview is conducted in English, and it's a problem.
The intrusion of the white men in our language has been a handicap to upward development of our languages. In other words, they did everything, but one thing that they refused to do is to work with us on our original language, which was spoken but not written. So till today, there's always that difficulty of going beyond what the white man set up for us.
But then in African countries, the struggle is still there. There are certain countries which do not even recognize sign language on its own, even deaf people, to recognize their culture. And the reason for that, I would say that there is lack of political will, there is lack of the government in charge to develop policies and the legislation that will make it easier for deaf people to be integrated in the communities. And just to zoom into South African perspective in terms of evolving of the language, it's slowly getting there. Like for instance, with COVID-19, there was no sign language interpreters until I myself recorded all the press briefings of the president, the minister of health, the spokesperson of the presidency, recorded all those briefings and then posted them on Facebook.
Developing African languages is an indispensable factor of African integration and development, of the well-being of the people of Africa, of cooperation, solidarity, trade, and education.
Research has proven that if young kids access information or education via or using the medium of their home language, they tend to learn quicker, they tend to develop critical thinking skills, and they tend to excel in counting, reading, and writing. So it's beneficial for every child to learn in their mother language so that they can excel. If we remain like this, it means they are going to die a slow death, and we will end up not having kids who can express themselves in our languages. And that's also problematic because if they do not learn in their languages, they might miss their roots, their culture, social identity, and they will grow up maybe identifying with other cultures instead of their own culture.
Every language developed from a culture. No language came out of the place. That's a culture that, I mean, if the culture of a people does not include certain things, there will be no language to describe those things.
Let me take an example of Kinyarwanda Kirundi. One spoken in Rwanda, the other one in Burundi. They are treated as two languages. These languages are 99% intelligible. Let's talk about Mandinkan, that the African Union calls Mandinkan. You have the Bambara of Mali, the Jula of Cote d'Ivoire and Burkina Faso, the Maninkakan of Guinea, and the Mandinkakan of Gambia, Senegal, Liberia, and Sierra Leone. One language, 90% intelligible, but they are treated as 5 different languages. Now, the objective of this linguistic ACALAN is to determine precisely the status, the number, and the status of African languages, their interrelations, and their dialectical variations, for us to use them to help us in corpus development, policy development, lexicography, terminology, etc.
It's all about the political will. We can have structures in place, but then and resources as well. But then if there is no political will, there is no proper implementation or strategy in place, then we'll keep on fighting the same battles where English will be considered as the business language of the world. Whereas if you see in South Africa, in Africa, to be specific, there is a wealth and rich languages and cultures, but those cultures and languages are not harnessed